Good morning. Here we are with Lewis Morgan and an interview for Lee Murray's Speculative fiction. G'day, Lewis.
G'day.
So I hear you're known by another name. Tell me about the Zebong character.
Yeah, I'm also known as Zebong, teller of tales. I've been a storyteller for the last 25 years, travelling around primary schools and intermediates in New Zealand. And I tell stories and I teach kids how to write stories as well.
So it's made you somewhat of a celebrity. I heard you were even spotted in India on a train.
That was an interesting thing that happened. I was walking through Delhi in India. I'd gone over for a bit of a visit, and this kid came up to me in the middle of the street and he goes, "Hi, Zebong." So I was pretty impressed by that. I thought that was pretty cool, getting recognised in India.
So it's not just your work, obviously. Good morning. It's not just your work around the schools telling stories as Zebong. You also have a program for young reluctant writers. Tell me about that.
That's right. In the last few years I've started doing courses writing for reluctant boys. And I basically take boys who don't like to write, boys who are aged sort of 8 to 12 years old, and we try and show them that writing can be heaps of fun. And the process of how art works, how you feel something, you write it down, and that triggers feelings in other people with your writing. So showing them the basic process and how much fun it can be.
Now this has led you also to become an author yourself. So there's a couple of books. One's the climbing competition, and the other, I hear, is the first storm of autumn. Can you tell me about those?
Yeah, well, the climbing competition is actually a story I've told for a long time as a storyteller about kids having a climbing competition, and one climbs a tree, another one climbs a power pole, with the inevitable tragic results. Now, the other book I've written is a book for boys who don't like reading chapter books, and it's a chapter book with only one chapter. It's called The First Storm of Autumn. It's all about a boy who builds a tree house that hangs out over his neighbour's house, and his neighbour wants to come and cut it down in the night with his chainsaw. Because one of the things I love is chainsaws, and I always put stuff I love in my books.
Talking about things you love and people you love, the artist for the first storm of autumn, this guy Rom. Tell me about Romilly Brown.
He is just an absolutely brilliant artist, and his art fits in completely with the book that I've done. He's got a nice style. It's just a little bit dark, and it just captures all those things from your childhood, all those interesting urban myths and legends, and his art is just, it's absolutely beautiful. And he also paints my storytelling banners. We work quite cooperatively. I'll be writing the story and have an outline. He'll start illustrating it, and from his illustrations I'll work out other parts of the story that I can put into my writing. So it's a very collaborative two-way exercise when we make a storytelling show.
So if you take your work for children and put that aside for a moment, I hear there's the great New Zealand post-apocalyptic novel that is still in the process of being written. How long have you been on that?
Probably 7, 8, 9 years now. I was always a big fan of Mad Max when I was young, so I wanted to do a New Zealand version, and I'm hoping my one will turn out something like Barry Crump meets Biggles, but in cars on the desert road.
Now, I'm not too sure if there's anything else we need to include in this interview.
Well,
I'll throw it over to you.
I just like to talk about, I've also been running a literacy program for youth offenders. And these are boys who are sort of 15, 17 years old, and I kind of run D&D games with literacy-based activities around them.
Hang on, did you say D&D?
That's right, Dungeons and Dragons.
So you're a bit of a gamer.
That's right, I am a gamer. Oh, that was a hard hill.
We can do it.
I like going out gaming, and you know, when you do a good game, it's a lot like telling a story.
Yeah.
It has a shape to it, a shape very much like a short story. So I find the gaming really inspires me to, how it does, I stop for breath.
It's actually, just to bring you guys in on it, we've been doing our normal run here, and it's not an average one, it has some hills. But yeah.
That gaming, it helps me get the shape of a story. When you have a game, everyone starts off set up for a battle or a challenge, and it slowly grows and grows and grows, and it reaches a peak, and then you have a resolution, it drops off. And that shape is very important in stories, and also in teaching.
Okay, now, just for Lee Murray, we did actually bring some notes, and we'll just make sure we've asked all the right questions.
Oh, hang on, what's this one here? It's just for a quick break to stretch our legs.
I think we've done that.
Instead of jumping jacks, list 5 adjectives that best describe you. Angry, 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 and relentless. Let's keep going.
Okay, let's go.
Now, I also noticed on that list, there was a playlist that you'd listen to.
Now, I think this is the time you tell us about Lemmy.
Oh, yes. Now, Lemmy from Motorhead, he's dead now, he died recently, but he's a really cool guy, and he really inspired me, because he sort of did his own thing with his music, and he was a little bit like Johnny Cash. He could only play as good as he could play. You know, people say,
use what you know.
You got a nice simple style, but that's all he could do. But that simple style was perfect for what he was doing. And that's what I like in writing, that simplicity. And actually my gaming and writing has another crossover, because I paint figures. And one of the things about painting figures is you see a lot of perfectly painted miniatures out there. But a little while ago, I was looking at a guy's painting blog, and he said, paint is a wonderful medium, and when you paint, it doesn't matter how you paint it, streaks, blobs, brush strokes, it's beautiful, every part of it you use. And I've thought about that with my storytelling and my story writing. There's so many different ways to use oral language and also written language, and that's why we're doing this interview like this today, because it's another different way of looking at an interview, a different way to paint, a different way to write. And that thread runs through everything I do.
And we wanted to make sure that when you're watching this, you got the feeling of vertigo. So,
hey, well, thanks for your time, Lee Murray. It's awesome to be on your blog and get an interview up there finally.
Okay.
So thanks very much, guys. We'll see you next time.
Okay, this has been Darcy Perry interviewing Zebong, also known as Lewis Morgan, for Lee Murray's spectacular speculative fiction. Ka kite. Oh, and that was Leah the dog. Leah.